Hello and welcome to November's angel reading with me, Karen Packwood of the Spirit Spa. So I'm going to just dive straight in because Spirit are all ready to go. So this month, the angel that we have been guided towards listening to a message from is this beautiful angel, and she is called the Angel of Hope. And I'm just going to move over here because I'm just a bit closer to the microphone. So let's just take a few moments to have a look at this very beautiful angel. You can see that she's sitting in a very beautiful grove. She's kneeling down. She's facing this very beautiful robin. And she looks very peaceful, but also kind of expectant, almost as if she's a bit curious. But Spirit want me to talk about, first of all, the robin. They want me to talk about the fact that the robin in this particular reading is a symbol of hope. A robin, we often hear robins singing right in the heart of the winter when it's very harsh conditions, when it's extremely cold, when it's very bitter. It's always quite impressive when you see little birds actually, singing still right at the heart of the most bitter, cold days. And Spirit wants to talk to me particularly about how we feel when we see a robin on these particularly cold days. And as we're coming into November, into the heart of November, we're beginning to get to that point, aren't we, where we're getting into those not as bitterly cold as they are maybe in January, but we're beginning to prepare for those days. And so this reading is all about preparing us for this kind of the bitterly cold days that are coming in the winter, and to make sure that we hold on to hope, even when it can feel quite hard to, when the days are long and there's a lot of darkness around. So the Spirit wants to draw me to the red breast of the robin and the gold on the robin. And of course, these are all about brightness and upliftment, even in the darkest of times. So if at the moment you're feeling at a point where you feel quite low, where you feel as if you're losing hope with something, or you have lost hope with something, or you have a dream that you would really like to attain and you're not quite sure how you're going to attain it, Spirit are inviting you to allow yourself to let the robin be your symbol of hope and inspiration over the coming months, particularly in November as we prepare for the sort of the darker months. It's almost as if in November we can kind of have a sense of doom and dread, can't we, as we think to ourselves about sort of the long days ahead. A sort of a doom can kind of creep in, and a kind of dread. And Spirit are wanting us to dispel that. They don't want us to have this feeling this month. They want us to look forward to the winter as a time of celebration, a time of renewal, a time of regeneration, a time of reflection, and a time of inward looking. A time where we come and we re-examine our life. We really think about what our hopes and our dreams are. In October, you were encouraged to think about what you wanted to release. You were thinking about what defenses you were holding up in your life, and you were encouraged to do some journaling work around that. Well, very much now, it's very much around that seed that you wanted to plant, really thinking about what your hopes and your dreams and your visions are for your life. The Spirit are guiding me to actually suggest that you think for the next 6 to 12 months, what is it that you would hope to attain in your life? What do you hope to welcome into your life? What do you hope to release from your life? They're still very much in that phase of release, renewal and regeneration. But they're also talking to me about tears. They're talking to me about giving yourself some time in November to think about any unshed tears. Are you holding on to anything that you feel, if you were given enough time and space, you would allow yourself to shed some tears over? They're also talking to me about anger. Quite often, repressed tears are also linked with anger. Sometimes if we feel particularly angry about something and we don't want to enter into that anger, we can then force that down. But what it also means is that it forces the tears down that might be going alongside that anger. They're talking to me about speaking your truth. They're saying that part of actually allowing anything that you hope for to really come to life, it's very important that you have the courage to honour your truth and also to speak it. So you're being invited in your wilderness writing time, in your journal activity this month, you're being invited to take some time to think about what aren't you saying that you need to say. Now this is not only to other people, it's also to yourself. What is it that you would like to say to yourself that you haven't had the courage to say? This might be about new challenges. This might be about making some changes in your life. It might be making some kind of massive alterations. Spirit are talking to me about, thinking about what kind of massive alterations do you want to make in your life? What shifts do you want to happen into your life? And often we don't enter into those because we're very scared. We don't want to face up to them. Scared, change can be very, very frightening for people. So we avoid it. And that's when we can then begin to repress things, keep things shut down, close the door on amazing new opportunities coming forward for us. And this is one of the major aspects of this reading. It's about being open to major new opportunities. And I'm seeing that these opportunities are coming in around spring. This is very much Spirit are very much taking us into a place where we're getting ready to open up to some magnificent new opportunities in spring. But we can't do that if we don't release the baggage, the things that are burdening us, the things that we're repressing, the things that we're holding back. And also they can't bring them in if we remain hopeless, if we have disbelief, if we keep hanging on to our limiting beliefs. Then what happens is that we can't bring ourselves into a place of hope and trust. And she's sitting here, she's ready, she's expectant. She's not active, she's just waiting. She knows that something is shifting, something is changing, there's a transformation coming. And she's not quite sure what it is, which is why she's looking to the robin for hope and for guidance. Now, what the robin is saying now, the guidance that I'm being given now to say to you, is to remember that the robin sings in the winter. Even on the most cold days, on the bitterest of days, you can still hear a robin singing. And often that's about being very territorial. It's about marking out their boundaries. It's about being very strong and protective. So, excuse me, so Spirit is saying here that, last month you were being asked to look at your defences and to release any unhealthy defences that are not helping you. But here we're being asked to really think about boundaries as well. It's very important to release defences that don't serve us, but it's equally important to have healthy, strong boundaries in place that respect our own well-being. So Spirit are really inviting you to think about your healthy boundaries, to remove your defences that don't work for you, but to think about what your healthy boundaries are, and to take some time in your journal to actually, put the title Healthy Boundaries, and then just ask yourself, where do I need to have healthy boundaries in my life? Where am I lacking healthy boundaries? Where am I not speaking up for myself? Where am I letting people dominate me? Where am I letting people manipulate me? Where am I keeping myself small? Where am I keeping myself frightened? And so it's very much around taking inspiration from the robin, because the robin is very tiny and it's very fragile, and in the winter it's in very harsh conditions, but it still has the confidence and the courage to stand up for itself, to protect its territory. But it can sound very pretty while it's doing it, doesn't it? It doesn't mean that you've got to go around being aggressive at all. It means that you've got to just stay very calm and very focused and very trusting in your own well-being. And Spirit want me to say that this is all about not only thinking about the external things, who you need to say these things to, what external shifts and changes you make, but it's also about the inner work, looking at yourself and asking yourself these questions about your inner work as well. So November is all about, sorry, I nearly lost my balance there. November is all about hope, trust, inspiration, holding on to your boundaries, standing up for yourself, speaking your truth, and just absolutely trusting in the hope that if you allow yourself to believe that you can empower your life, you can transform your life, you can heal aspects of your life that aren't working, then you're beginning to clear the way to open new doorways for yourself, beyond anything that you can possibly imagine at this moment in time. So take a few moments now to absorb this month's reading. Get your journal. I hope you've got yourself a very beautiful journal and a very beautiful pen to really honour yourself each month as you listen to these readings. Go back, write down the questions that Spirit have given you, boundaries, truth, what do you need to release, what visions do you need to open up to. Give yourself some time to reflect on those and to journal, whether it's writing or whether it's doodling, sketching, drawing, however it wants to come to you, allow it to come to you naturally. And then if you would like to share any of this with me, I'm always happy to know, how people get on with these readings. Please don't forget to email me. It's Karen@karenpackwood.com. Always delighted to hear from anybody. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me that I could answer in any future videos, please also email me again at Karen@karenpackwood.com. And then the final thing that Spirit want me to do is, as I was preparing for this reading today, Spirit wanted me to show you 3 things. So I'm just going to, I've got to bend down to get them, so I'm going to pop down and then I'll be popping back up again. But the first thing that they wanted to give me was they wanted me to talk about the conker, and how the conker, when it first falls from the tree, it's in this very, very harsh shell. It's all prickly and spiky. And this is very much relating back to last month's reading, all around, your defenses and so on. So they're talking to you about, just checking in with that. Have you done enough work about those defenses? Is there any more work that you need to do in relation to any defenses that might not be helping you in life? And now, the second one, I'm just going to pop down to get the second one. The second one that they wanted to show me, is once the conker has lost all those bristles, and then it kind of starts to naturally burst. Once you allow yourself to release the defenses, you begin to change from the prickly conker to something that is so incredibly beautiful. I don't think anybody can deny that a conker is just so beautifully stunning. And this is what we're aiming to do in these readings. We're aiming to help you come from a place where you release anything that's not working for you in your life, to help you become this incredibly beautiful, I'm going to say conker, but of course this is really you that we're talking about. This is your beauty. This is the aspects of your soul that are really waiting to shine in life. So for some minute, Spirit wanted me to give you this, and then the final one that they wanted to show me is this, the beautiful conker. So I'm just going to grab it properly. The beautiful conker. I really urge you all, you can't take a robin, you can't capture a robin and have a robin sitting in your home, but what you can do is you can get a conker or some other aspect of nature that you can just gather over the month of November, have it sitting in your house somewhere where you can hold it, you can touch it, you can smell it, you can connect with it. This will be your connection with this reading throughout the month. This will be your connection with the robin. This is your connection with hope. This is the reminder that, hang on to hope. Work to allow your fears, your limiting beliefs, your defenses, work to release those so that you can be coming into a place where you're creating this version of yourself, not the version that's all prickly, but this version, and that's not meant to be offensive, by the way. We all have our defenses, don't we? We all have our fears, we all have our limiting beliefs. But what Spirit wants us to do is get to a point where we don't need them, where we can just be strong, beautiful and shiny in our own right without having to have false defenses. So I'm going to leave that with you. Please let me know how you get on. If there's anything that you would like to ask or tell me about, please email me at Karen@karenpackwood.com. And I am wishing you an incredibly peaceful, joyful and loving November. Take care.